करके तू ना जा छड़ के ay I think about it every day baby looking like खाना खजाना on a plate ay like mithai like kulfi rasmalai pista barfi sardiyan vich garmi lagdi jad vi tu mere raah vichon chaldi yeah lab vich mere kolo langdi throw it back and bubble up in front of me everybody trying to figure out your recipe I'm just trying to get a piece baby I know that you wanna get crazy shorty take it slow then chitty hey baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it no I really need it oh baby let me see it I just wanna eat it I know the things that you like Yeah, hey, tell me how you feel. Looking like a movie star, doing it for reals. Looking like a snack, looking like a whole meal. Gucci and Chanel with your red bottom heels. Ice drip like Bonnie, burning out the meri rani. Shawty bad, she my divani mastani. Light it up, I'm living every day like it's Diwali. Young Tesha, young Shah Rukh, I'm at every party. And you got what I want, it's Sony, yeah. पिट्ठी गला करके तू ना जा छड़ के रब तो मैं मंगा तेरा प्यार honey yeah girl you know what I'ma say hey baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it no I really need it oh baby let me see it I just wanna eat it I know the things that you like baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it no I really need it oh baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it Tesha. Hey, you got what I want, it's Sony, yeah. पिट्ठी गला करके तू ना जा छड़ के hey I think about it every day baby looking like खाना खजाना on a plate hey like mithai like kulfi rasmalai pista barfi sardiyan vich garmi lagdi jad vi tu mere raah vichon chaldi yeah lab vich mere kolo langdi throw it back and bubble up in front of me everybody trying to figure out your recipe I'm just trying to get a piece baby I know that you wanna get crazy shorty take it slow then chitty hey baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it no I really need it oh baby let me see it I just wanna eat it I know the things that you like Yeah, hey, tell me how you feel. Looking like a movie star, doing it for reals. Looking like a snack, looking like a whole meal. Gucci and Chanel with your red bottom heels. Ice drip like Bonnie, burning out the meri rani. Shawty bad, she my divani mastani. Light it up, I'm living every day like it's Diwali. Young Tesha, young Shah Rukh, I'm at every party. And you got what I want, it's Sony, yeah. चिट्ठी गल्ला करके तू ना जा छड़ के अब तो मैं मंगा तेरा प्यार honey yeah girl you know what I'm say hey baby let me see it jalebi baby I just wanna eat it jalebi baby baby let me see it jalebi baby no I really need it jalebi oh baby let me see it jalebi baby I just wanna eat it jalebi I know the things that you like baby let me see it jalebi baby I just wanna eat it jalebi baby baby let me see it jalebi baby no I really need it jalebi oh baby let me see it jalebi baby I just wanna eat it jalebi baby baby let me see it jalebi
Hello, 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 hello. All right, so we're back, and everything does seem to sound good now. Had an early moment of madness right there, but it's okay. It's okay. So, ready to go into the games of tonight. And yesterday was absolutely outstanding. We saw so many different teams, just go all the way and grind right to the very last moment. And at the end of that one, you did see before the game started what was the leaderboard, and here we have it with the boys from Active Gaming coming out on top right there. They had one winner chicken dinner in the last game yesterday. Was it the last game or the second to last? I can't even remember. But they had a whole bunch of elimination points right there as they were absolutely aggressive throughout the entire map, and we're seeing them coming out on top, all right, in that particular one. All the way in that second place, you do have the boys from Foul Play who were also getting those points right there. So we're curious to see who actually does continue to boost himself up on that leaderboard. Are the boys from Active Gaming going to be dethroned, or are we going to see them retain their spot? We're going to be hopping onto the games right now and see on ground or start on ground with the boys from O3. So do let us know, guys, who you're supporting, who you think is going to be winning this one. First of all, let's take a look at the flight path. Moving all the way from that southwestern region all the way towards that north eastern, sorry, that southeastern region all the way towards that north western region right there. You do see the boys from O3 moving to their favorite spot right there all the way at that not judgeable. We also see several different squads around there. We got the boys from Extreme Dream Team, First Tactics, and Knock and Lobby within those regions. Now, I don't know who Knock and Lobby, the team Knock and Lobby are, but they do seem to be really, really, really doing good for themselves. Now, are they from a clan that has renamed? Because they're not playing like, oh, we're just new boys, coming off the block and not doing well for ourselves. They're playing like they've been doing this for a while. They've been training and they're coming up against so many different amazing teams, and they're performing quite well. So let me know, are they like a former team that's changed name that we know? Are there some players that are popular, because I do see a lot of new names right there, but yeah, let me know what's your take on that one. Um, who they are. The zones moving all the way towards that eastern region is still somewhere central eastern, so a lot of space for those teams to work with. But some of it is held within the zone, and we'll continue to see how that one does progress for all of these teams. The boys from Rage Esports sitting down in Yesnaya, not too far away from CLS. We might see a skirmish come down between the two of them, but sitting down all the way in that central spot, you do have the boys from OG. Manny and Chief and his boys who had an incredible 2v4 in yesterday's game, coming up against I forgot what clan it was, but they had a full squad, and it was a 2v4 situation. Do remind me, guys, for the people who watched yesterday's game. It was absolutely amazing, and if you did miss it, just go back and watch yesterday's scrims. Just head all the way into the final match, and because that was absolutely scintillating. Just seeing the way Chief and his boys just handled that final moment, and got that winner chicken dinner in that spot right there in Vikendi. It was the Vikendi game. Yeah, I do remember quite clearly. It was the Vikendi game. Yeah, yesterday's game was filled with so much drama. It was action at every single point. Our reigning champions, the boys from O3, have not been able to stamp their foot in this game. For a lot of O3 fans who are wondering, how they've been doing. It's not been going quite well for them. They're still on the second page of the entire leaderboard. If you didn't see the leaderboard, I'll just show it quite quickly for you to see. So they're currently sitting down in that ninth place, and it's not looking the best of the best for them, as they will need to continue to show the dominance throughout the tournament, and we'll see what that means for them at the end of the day. But so far, they will need to show what they're capable of, and we know that they're an excellent squad. Nexus and his boys have competed at this level, at the highest level, over and over again, and to be able to crown yourself as one of the champions of the NPL, definitely you do have what it takes to do it, to be there over and over and over again. They joined the likes of Slime4KT, who have won this wild breed as well, who have won the competition and stamped their foot on that, should I say, previous winners board or whatever it is, Hall of Fame, previous winners Hall of Fame. All right, so we'll just take a look again at the map and see where several different teams are currently rotating towards and see where we might be potentially finding a lot of danger all the way. Naya. There's several different teams who are just lurking around that region. There's the boys from Rage Esports and CLS, just just hanging around each other right there. We might see something go down between these guys, and we'll continue to keep an eye and see the way that develops, because you know how this goes. Sometimes the shots already beginning to let loose, as we're seeing shots already going down right here as Petri and his boys are coming into the mix too. One player from CLS is already down, and the boys from OJ are now getting into the fight right there, as the boys from CLS have lost one of their players. Roach and the rest are currently moving in on ground, trying to see if they can join in on the fight, provide the support. And you can see now that Stoner has now come on ground right there, sending all the shots onto that position. He's been done a lot of damage on his own. So the boys from OJ trying to see if they can get that revive. Can Stoner get a revive onto anybody? Ooh, would you look at that nade? And here is the man, the myth, OJ, he's got to find a way to hold things down for his team. Chief is currently far away from this position, and you can see the Stoners right next to Cole. He's going in for the juggler right there, and boom! Cole, who had a lovely performance yesterday, is able to hold things down right there. And now Cole's goes most likely going to be looking to get that revive. CLS not having the best of games so far, as they currently have just 2 players left in this particular region. Are they going to be getting out of this dodge right here? Just leave the ops and just make the best use of the game so far for them, as the boys from OJ will take those 2 confirmations to their name. And it does look like the boys from OJ did not lose any players in that particular fight. A couple of players were knocked down, but the confirmations definitely did not come through, and those eliminations did not happen for the boys from CLS, who definitely got caught off guard, making those rotations into that spot. And OG, just being absolutely outstanding. All right, the violence has already begun ensue in this particular region, as we're seeing teams go toe-to-toe. The boys from CLS just bouncing away from that spot and deciding to find themselves a better location, as they just decided that fight was absolutely not what they planned early on, because you see how things just continue to develop for them over and over as the game continues to progress. First of all, I need to mute all my sounds. Okay. Alright, so muted. Alright, some early fights going down between the boys from CLS and OJ, as it will be Cole getting those 2 eliminations quite early on. Chief and his boys holding up a good defense against the boys right there from CLS. No small feat coming up against them, but we've seen OJ be absolutely outstanding in yesterday's games, as they managed a 2v4. I did believe that 2v4 was up against the boys from CLS. If my memory serves me right. I usually go back and watch the game, but I wasn't able to, have time to see that one. As today was a busy day for me, so I usually would recall. And for all those people who would be like, hey, how come you don't remember? You casted it. Well, my brother, sometimes in life, you have a lot of events, and it is what it is. Alright, so we're now moving on to that stage 2 of the map, and you can now see several different teams just hopping into the vehicle and starting to begin their rotations. We'll turn our sights onto the boys from No Gaming, who are on a rotation all the way from that should I say northeastern region, and they're rotating around the boys from Foul Play. They're currently, around the same vicinity, but it doesn't look like either of them is deciding to hop out of the vehicle and get into the action right there. Foul Play, who's currently in that second spot, starting to make the rotation towards that central location as well. Looking to see if they can get in on the action. We also see on the bridge, it does look like the boys from 21 getting into the mix. And we'll keep an eye on that and see how it does develop. '21 Century have lost one of the players. They've lost Baby, who is their IGL, but Sixpen is back in the action and is coming, to see if he can, rejuvenate things for the boys from 21st Century, who've not had quite the best of games right here within the NPL. They'll be looking to see if they can perform a lot better than they did in yesterday's game, but they've lost one of the players already. And they're currently on ground with the boys from Free Spot. Jagaban and his boys have been, causing trouble throughout the entire NPL Super Weekend. And they're looking to continue to do the same right here. So you can see them just pointing their lasers onto Sixpen and his boys. But they are, playing it quite cautiously. And currently just making sure that they do keep them at bay. And now the shots being let loose as Rumsey gets into the line of sight of the boys from 21 Century. And they do some damage to his HP. And he sort of like wants to get closer and closer to them. Everyone's trying to find their spots. But Knockin' Lobby and the boys from Extreme going toe-to-toe against each other from a distance. We will keep an eye on the two fights. It does look like a revive is coming up for Rooney. The boys from Extreme doing their thing. Trying to hold a position where they're taking on shots onto the boys from Knockin' Lobby. Not too far away from them. Extreme has a couple of players that used to be in Unknown Soldiers, if my memory serves me right. Okay. Alright, so it's beginning to start. Several different teams rotating around this region, trying to find a spot to call home. There's some active gaming lurking around this position. You can see shots being let loose onto that position where Skinny is currently at. Active Gaming somehow hanging on to their life as they try as much as possible to, just get out of dodge right there. And it will be Skinny who is not having it quite easy, as he's pretty much just getting tagged up by several different teams around. Active Gaming lose one of the players. They do lose Skinny, who does get into a little bit of drama right there. Active Gaming, who currently sitting down on top of the leaderboard, now coming into the line of action right there against the boys from Dream Team, and it is Sad who is currently in this position. They've lost one of the players. They're coming up right there, and Sad does get a knock. And Nez as well is currently down. But some active gaming be looking to see if they can get that revive. But some Dream Team pulling up onto this vicinity. But Surge is trying as much as possible to see if he can hold it down for the boys right there from active gaming. Oh, and now Surge is the last one up for his team, and the boys from Dream Team are just lurking around. So trying to hold it down for them, but can he get the revive just in time? Oh, the nade pulling up onto that position does send the boys from active gaming out of the game, and it will be Dream Team who will be winning this fight. As the boys from active gaming, who were sitting down on top of the entire leaderboard, now opens things up. Does leave opportunities for several different teams to climb all the way up. And we're seeing the action beginning to go down as the boys from active are currently the first team to get taken out of the game. Several different teams have lost a couple of players, regardless. And the action is continuing to ensue right there. So you see other teams, just moving around as the boys from Dream Team are currently sitting down with a couple of eliminations to call their own. Speaking of the map, let's take a look and see where the map is going to situate. We do see that map just around that region within the center, all the way tilted towards the eastern region. There's some action still going down between the boys from 21 all the way on that bridge as 6Ben is currently down. The boys from Free Esports now beginning to make their move. With this Hawkeye, who will be pulling up onto this location where 6Ben is and gets that confirmation. And now 21, who was obviously looking to see if they could have a better performance today. Now things are not going absolutely their way as they left to just Power and Roy in this position. With a vehicle blown up, we'll see if he can actually drive that vehicle, because I do think I saw 3 tires blown up in that vehicle. I'm not sure regardless, but we'll see. But it does look like the boys from Free are deciding to pull up onto this location where the last 2 players from 21 are currently situated, and they'll be looking to take the action as the zone is also pulling up. Power has to find a way to dig the game out and get those extra bit of performances. With the zone doing a little bit of damage, the boys from Free, they're supposed to know that he's got to make that move. And now they have come up here. That's one of the players. Oh, I do believe 2 of the players actually from Free Esports to drop down as they do take them down to a 2v2 situation. You can now see the boys right there from 21 Century now beginning to make the move. What looked like they were going to send back into the lobby is now them turning things around. But ooh, boys from Free Esports are not holding back as they continue on with their fight right there. But Roy has it all to do for himself. He drops one down, but the numbers would just be too much for him to handle. As the boys from 21 Century will be sent back into the lobby as Free Esports does get the confirmations and have 4 eliminations to their name. We're currently sitting down with 50 bodies left in the lobby, as we do have 14 teams right here. The zone's beginning to make its shift all the way towards that region around Farm, and you can now see several different teams making their rotations into that spot within the center. And it's all down to, very little margins and who grabs that winner chicken dinner, as all these teams are making very smart decisions about how they make their rotations. You can see the boys from Foul Play moving all the way from that northeastern region down through towards Milta, and we'll be heading towards that position where the boys from 5 Gaming are currently calling home, and they are being absolutely smart about how they continue to rotate into the zone, and we'll see if at the end of the day they can hold a spot. And it does look like that's exactly what they're going to be doing for now, as they do find a spot right there within that center. All of these guys have got to continue to make the rotations into that zone, and it's all down to, you know, who wants this the most. Marta says, my nigga sounds like Marley. Like Marley? What do you mean? Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by sounds like Marley, but okay. I will take it as a compliment. All right, there's also some action going down between the boys from 03. Between the boys from 03 and OJ. Going toe to toe against each other, trying as much as possible to see if they can who can find that first knock. Okay. With so much action now going down right there in front of them. The boys from Rage getting into the mix as 03 is pulling up into this position. Looking to see if they can get that elimination as the violence does begin to ensue. The boys from Rage are in a whole lot of trouble. Nexus and his boys are going in toe-to-toe for the juggler. The Rage down to the last player, and he was trying as much as possible to see if he can get out of that position, but they're like, come back here, my boy. And now everyone's trying to make their way into what's that center of the zone. They've got to find a way to hop through. Less than 03 getting on there. Reinforcements. OJ lost a couple of players to 03 quite early on. So many different teams trying as much as possible to see if they can start getting into the mix. It does look like the boys from OJ in a little bit of mess as the boys from No Gaming are currently around this vicinity. Xani is going to be pulling up to see if we can provide some support, but at the end of the day, he will get taken out. And that is the end for the boys from OG, who did grab themselves a winner chicken dinner in yesterday's games. We're now turning the sights onto the boys from Knock and Lobby. We have one of the players currently down there in a skirmish against the boys from Extreme. And Sean X is right there in front. They're trying to see if they can get that knock onto him. At the same time, see if we can get that elimination. There's also the boys from 03 who are lurking around this region. Who want to get in on the action right there. And Rooney and his boys pull up into this vicinity. It is Josh, who's also on ground right here. They're looking to see if they can take this one. And with different teams are making the rotation. There's also the boys from 03 who are looking around this region, and now the action begins to let loose as Lagma will get put to the ground. We're just left with Bala Blue. He's trying to run out of this position, get into his buggy and lift that surroundings. But they're hot on his tail. Will he be able to escape from this particular position? We'll see if that does happen. There it is. Look at the ridge lines right there. It's going to help him as he's moving away from the boys right there from No Gaming, from Extreme. And boys from Extreme definitely getting those confirmations in the bag. I know our boy Bala Blue, sorry, who was running away from several different teams, is trying to find it really hard to find a place to call home. Now the shots are being let loose at several different teams. There's also the boys from No Gaming and First Actics who are going toe-to-toe against each other. You now see the shots being let loose right there by Violence. Violence, Dolly and his boys are trying to keep the boys from MOB out of this particular territory. They're fighting hard to cement their territory and make sure that no one calls this place home. But the boys from MOB, they want this. They want to get that fight on. They want to make sure that they they have a position and a spot within that zone as they do start to make the move. Lobby and his boys inching quite closer and closer towards that position where Dolly is currently at. Can now see Lobby getting closer and closer towards Yomite. He does a little bit of damage, but is not able to get that knock. If he can't send a nade into that small shock right there, he might just be able to take away two of the players right there for the boys from First Tactics. Instead of nades now beginning to get loose, but it does do the required damage or the expected damage. But they're not holding back. They're prepping again. They send another one. Rollins and Dolly now on the opposite ends against Creed. Trying to see if they can get a knock onto one of the players right there from MOB. There's also the boys from O3 who are in a fight in a close vicinity, and now Dolly does get a knock onto Creed, and it does look like the confirmation would definitely be happening in quick succession right there. As the boys from Ice have gotten one confirmation onto the boys from MOB. They've gotten another knock as well, so it looks like they're in a 3v or a 2v4 situation. Now that anger coming in from Nyon might definitely, it's going to be working out for him, as it is the player Dufree who does get the knock onto the boys from MOB, and it's just left the magic to somehow hold things down for the boys right there for MOB. And he's got a whole bunch of players. Is he just going to get out of dodge in this particular one? It does look like that's the only option left for him. They've got 2 eliminations to their name. He would obviously be thinking about getting himself those little bits of play. But now there's also the boys from O3 around this region. But definitely the finish will be coming through from the boys from Extreme. And it is Josh, who's been watching in on that for quite a while, who does now finally get that elimination. Boys from O3 really can see if they can make their way all through into that zone. There's so much fights going on at every single corner. All 3 brothers turning sides onto the boys from First Tactics, putting them to the ground. They currently do have 7 eliminations to themselves. They've got 2 knocks. If they do get those confirmations, it will be a whole lot. But there's also the boys from Dream Team right there in front of them as they continue on trying to get the shots loose. They put in the work. I got the numbers. We're down to 5 teams. As Josh was trying to send on the nades into that position where the boys from O3 are currently situated, but it's not able to do any damage. But O3 are down to the last guy, and it's just Riley's who's trying to be possible to hold it down for his team right here, coming up against Josh. And it looks like that will be the end for the boys of O3, who finish this game with 8 kills right there. But my goodness, what an amazing violence coming down within the lobby so far. The boys from Free Esports currently do have 7 eliminations to themselves. They still got about 3 bodies right here, so they're still looking quite strong. But you just got to give it to the boys from Extreme, who currently do have 12 eliminations to their name. They're still going on quite strong in this one. They turn their sights onto the boys from Free Esports as they do land a little bit of damage. They're not able to drop anybody down right there. Well, the shots continue to rain down on several different teams, but look at the amount of eliminations that the boy right there, Josh, is currently holding down. As he does decide to hop in his vehicle, they turn the sights onto the boys from Vibe Esports and several different teams, you know, who are trying to make their way into that zone. Now, letting it loose, it is Abubakar who is going to go down. There are 2 players right there for the boys from Extreme coming up against the boys from Vibe Gaming. We're just looking around this region. Extreme, Sean X and Josh are still holding it down against the boys from Vibe Gaming. They're looking to grab that chicken dinner. It's a 2v2 situation as the boys from Vibe Gaming are still, somehow holding their own in this position. It is Bougie. Come on, Bougie, popping up those smokes. Trying to see he maybe, just maybe, he might be able to get the revives in this position. You can see Josh trying to make his rotations. Well, now things are not looking quite good for him as they do get that final elimination and send them back packing into the lobby. It will be the boys from Extreme who do get themselves the maximum points in this game as they finish with 17 eliminations right here. But you just got to give it to the man, the myth, the legend, Josh, who does get himself 9 of those eliminations. All right, guys. We'll be taking a quick break, and immediately after we're back. We're going to be looking at the leaderboard, the overall leaderboard modified with these points. And we'll catch you guys in a couple of moments. All right? So we'll see you soon.
Hello guys, my name is ISTG Oluashom. My in-game name is 03nexus018. I'm the current leader at the IGL of O3 Brothers. Yeah, we finished first place in the last season of MPL. And then our experience in the tournament was very, very good because it was a nice competition, so we could learn new things, we could learn how to rotate and new strats, and then it paid off well. And we hope you guys can get us a better stream and then increase the price pool. That was all. Thank you very much. Thank you Carbon, thank you 1080, thank you MPL. God bless. Hello guys, my name is ISTG Oluashom. My in-game name is 03nexus018. I'm the current leader at the IGL of O3 Brothers. Yeah, we finished first place in the last season of MPL. And then our experience in the tournament was very, very good because it was a nice competition, so we could learn new things, we could learn how to rotate and new strats, and then it paid off well. And we hope you guys can get us a better stream and then increase the price pool.
Do you think you've got what it takes? The challenge will be tougher than ever. In 2023, International Esports has a new home. Over 100 nations fighting for the championship in a celebration of everything that makes esports great. Who will rise up to the challenge? Who will be the world champion?
All right, guys, there you have it. It has been some amazing gameplay that we've seen from all of these guys. It has been wonderful. We'll be taking a very short break and we'll be right back for some more action right here. But when we do come back, we'll be showing you the updated leaderboard and maybe things have changed all the way up in that top spot. We will see if Foul Play and the Boys from Active Gaming have been dethroned or they still manage to hold on to their top spot. We'll catch you in a couple of moments. See you soon. All right, guys, we'll now be moving into our second game of the night, with that last game being absolutely outstanding for the boys from Extreme, as Josh came out with the MVP right there, getting 9 eliminations to himself. So let's see what that means in the overall leader board. As you can see right there, there was some foul play, have now overtaken that number one spot, as they do have themselves 53 points right there. But there was some Team Extreme coming all the way into that second spot right there, gathering themselves 50 points, and Active Gaming now moving down to that slot 3. So we'll see, what it means for all of these guys in the next game, as we are heading into Miramar. All right, guys. So taking a look at that flight path, it is moving all the way from that northwestern region towards that southeastern, or basically south central region, and there's a whole lot of space for the teams to work with. We do understand that the Miramar matches they usually start off really slow with a lot of space for the team to work with, because it's an 8x8 map, and things now begin to get aggressive as we move and inch closer and closer towards that later stages of the zone. So we're curious to see if we do have a little bit of skirmishes and two teams landing within the same spot. We do see that sometimes, as we usually get some early action going down. But let us know what teams you're supporting. Who do you think is going to be grabbing home that winner chicken dinner here, as we do start off with our reigning champions, the boys from O3. All right, we're now beginning to see teams just make their rotations into that zone. We'll take a look at where the zone's currently situated. We do see it just moving across towards that center, and we do have some teams who are landing, pretty close to each other. The boys from Active Gaming and the boys from Old Guards are currently situated within the same region, and we might see a skirmish go down between the two of them, as they are, beginning on with their loot right there. We're curious to see who does on this one, and it's a very important game for the boys from Active, as they currently have a few points away from that top, and they do need those points to continue to boost themselves all the way into that top. You can see Pedri now beginning to rotate towards that location where the boys from Active are currently situated in. He doesn't have an AR to himself, so it's a very dangerous one. He might not be aware of them being in that particular position, and that may cause some problems for him. But now that he does have an SMG to work with, that may just prove to be vital in the fight. That's definitely to come through. It does look like some noise has been made, and definitely now that we'll be aware of some enemies around this vicinity, and we'll be a little bit more careful, so that element of surprises is obviously gone, as he obviously now will turn his sights onto the players from Active Gaming. Obviously he's heard sounds coming from the direction from Surge, and I'm curious to see if they can get a surprise onto one of the players from Active, and pretty much just open up the fight in this region, because the rest of his teammates are currently not within this vicinity. Let's see how it goes. OG yesterday were a powerhouse. They did manage to get themselves a winner chicken dinner. I do believe that puts them all the way in that first page, as they're currently sitting down in that fifth spots right there. But some active gaming on the other end. We do see TQ just trying as much as possible to lurk around to hold a good position coming up against the ops right there as they are preparing for what might be, an onslaught coming through or an early fight coming through against the boys from Old Guards. Yesterday was the boy right there, Serge, who was leading with a number of eliminations as he was going toe to toe against several different players, and he continued to get those eliminations put through. So Top G right next to the boys from OG. They're currently in front of him. They're just waiting to make their move. Or he's waiting for them to make their move. And you can see Zani just dancing around that region. Not, making any moves across the road. And both parties are just waiting for who gets the first or for who makes the first move. Zani has sights onto Inez. And in situations like this, it's all about who gets the first knock. It's all about who makes the first move onto the next player per se. And looking across the map, there's no other team who's currently toe to toe in about to get into some action. So we might not be seeing action elsewhere. But for now, we're now beginning to see Chief get closer and closer towards that position where Sword is currently situated at. He does have a line of sight within that building right there, and it doesn't look like it does look like Chief is fully aware that Sword is within this position. But he's got to be careful. He's now trying to throw in the nade, and here it begins as one knock does go down onto the boys from OJ, and they're put to the ground right there. And now the boys from Active Gaming will obviously be triggered in this position. We'll be looking to see if they can make the move with the molly coming through. Definitely the confirmation will obviously be happening as they do pull into this location, try to see if they can get that revive. Surge is now beginning to come through. Oh, the boys from OJ have another player who's currently gone down to the ground, and here's where things now begin to get interesting because two players from the boys from OJ have currently been knocked down. The confirmation definitely happening right there. Pedri does take down Skinny, but all the way right there, the return fire coming through by Inez will provide the necessary support. And there was some OJ who were absolutely outstanding in yesterday's games and now left with just OJ in that position. Now he's made some sounds. They're currently fully aware of his position, and Surges just remembers that, hey, there was a knock I got earlier on in this position. We need to make sure that we do get that confirmation onto, that player right there. But that's Cole, who's also in the mix of things. Has got a position within the buildings. All right, so the boys from Active Gaming have a bunch of confirmations to their name. Cole's currently just within this vicinity, just taking a look at the onslaught being put down on his team as they do lose another player to the boys from Active Gaming. Active Gaming getting 3 eliminations in this position. They didn't lose any player to that fight as they stuck together as a team and were able to get those eliminations through. Amazing stuff being done by the boys from Active Gaming as they will now be looking for the last player from the boys from OJ as Cole. My mind keeps trying to say J. Cole over and over again, but I just have to remind myself that it's Cole. It's Cole. It's Cole. It's not J. Cole. It's Cole. But they're currently looking for him. They're searching. They're just scanning through the buildings over and over again. But now here's where, Cole might be able to put in some damage onto the boys from Active Gaming. As if they do come into the open right there, he might just be able to get one scapegoat right here. And you can see he's just waiting. He's just lurking and seeing if they do, get into that position. And Skinny does get into the open as well as Nez. And now here's where things now begin to get interesting, as he's currently holding that Scar L and might just be able to do the necessary damage that it would take to seal this one through, as they're pulling up onto that location where he's currently at. And he's gearing, he's ready. He knows they're going to be coming through the steps right there. There was some active looking to see if they can get the fourth elimination. Make sure that there is no threat within this vicinity left, as they're pulling up together. He is now going in for the juggler. He guns down one, but he's not able to take a Nez with him, as he will get sent back into the lobby. All right. There's nothing scarier than when a full team is playing with an absolute teamwork gameplay in mind, and they're moving together and trying to get on the attack. Because a lot of times in my experience, you're more powerful as a team. There's nothing more OP than a full team of 4 people that pulls up to you. No matter how OP you are, you're not surviving that. You're not surviving being in the open or being in a room without any cover against a full team of 4. You're not surviving. Even 1 KD players against 100 KD, you're not surviving that. You're not surviving that. So at the end of the day, always push as a team. I believe that is probably my preferred way of playing. All right, so we're going to be turning our sights onto the boys from Foul Play, who are coming up against the boys from Rage Esports, as we do see one of the eliminations coming through right there for the boys from Foul Play. But now they've got 2 bodies currently dropped down, as the boys from Rage are left with just 2 players in this one. Now it's a 3v2 situation. I do believe it's even a 3v1 situation, as the boys from Rage are left with the final player within this location, and it will be Salam, trying as much as possible to see if he can hold his own against the boys from Foul Play. He's just being absolutely silent in this one, as he's not making any noise right now. He's trying as much as possible to see if he can catch them off guard. All right, so can Salam do the necessary work to take out the 3 players right there that are approaching his position? But from Foul Play inching closer and closer, and one of them does pull up, but he's not able to react quickly, as Lone Wolf will be the one gets in that final elimination for the boys right there from Foul Play, and sending them backpacking into the lobby. All right. So much action happening at several different corners. Vibe Gaming getting into the action right there, as they do lose a couple of players. She's just trying to get that revive. There's also CLS is currently on ground. CLS and the boys. We're seeing some damage onto several different players around him, and they do have one of the players from Vibe Gaming just approaching the buildings that's within their vicinity, and they'll be looking to take on this action right here. The boys from CLS have lost one of the players. It is Falcon, who has been gunned down, and they put it up onto that location where one of the boys from Vibe Gaming is currently situated at, and looking to see if they can get that knock right there, as Vibe Gaming have been reduced to 2 players, as one of the players has been knocked down, and now it's just left with one. It's just Jesus, who is currently on ground with for them. And the boys from CLS getting those extra bits of knocks and looking to see if they can get the confirmations to continue to boost up themselves up on that leaderboard. All right, absolutely amazing stuff from Roach, as he does try to to get an angle on the boys from Vibe Game, but I do believe he just decides, hey, you know what, it's not worth the risk, because there's several different teams around. All he's currently not too sure about their positioning, as the boys from Knock on Lobby are also within this vicinity. So I'm not really sure. I do think he genuinely doesn't know where they are. Alright, so everyone now beginning to make the rotations into that zone. You do see the zone moving us all the way towards that stage 3. And right now, as it's going to situate the boys from CLS are now prioritizing boys from CLS, Knock on Lobby, and also the rest of the players from Vibe Gaming now prioritizing getting themselves in towards that central position. There's a lot of teams currently sitting down quite comfortably within that zone, as you do see the boys from 03 all the way at that region around La Bendita, and basically south of that it is the boys from MOB, and right there in Minas you do have the boys from Active Gaming. We saw them in action quite early on, and just north of them you do have the boys from Dream Team and Junkyard and First Actics within the same vicinity, and basically north of that again you do have the boys from 21 Century. All the way around Patreon, you do have the boys from Extreme, as well as the boys from Disparis, and it's also No Gaming around that vicinity as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye and see the way that one does build out for all of these guys, and see if they do get into several different skirmishes and all that. Yeah. All right, guys, still remember to hit that like and hit that subscribe. Let's get things going. Let's get this going. No Gaming getting into some trouble. They do have one of the player Beeps who's currently knocked down while they were trying to make the rotations into that zone. They found a spot, but it definitely did come at a cost. The boys from Extreme just lurking around this region, looking to see if they can get that extra bit of elimination. But that elimination onto the boys from No Gaming did come from Disparage, who were also within the same vicinity while around Hacienda, while they were trying to make the rotations right there through. But now that they found their spots, the boys from Extreme just pretty much just circling around their region, and we're curious to see who does actually get a lead to the fight between the boys from No Gaming. And you can see things now beginning to open up, as it is 007 Guns 007 who does get knocked down. Are the boys from Extreme going to be pulling up onto this location? It does look like that's exactly what's going to be happening, as you do have Sean already hopping into his vehicle and trying to make the rotations into that spot. The shots are beginning to let loose right there onto Sean and his teammate, but it's definitely not going to do any damage right there, as they're not able to get them the knock. They're in a 3v4 situation between the boys from No Gaming and Extreme, and I'm not sure if Sean and his boys are currently aware of that, but they're looking definitely to take on this fight right here. All of the players for No Gaming are currently within that one building, and the shots are now beginning to let loose. The rest of the players are coming and inching quite closer and closer to this one. We also see a fight going down between the boys from 03 and Knock and Lobby. So we'll continue to keep an eye and see the way that one's gonna continue to play out right in this position. Ooh, but Rooney will definitely get taken down right there. They do with just the numbers for Knock and Lobby, but now No Gaming, it was looking like they could somehow fight back in this particular position. Now have the last player left on ground right here. It is Keys, who was the last hopeful for his team. There's also the boys from Free Esports who are now pulling up onto this particular location, looking to see if they can get themselves the third-party shots. The boys from Extreme do have 2 eliminations to call their own, and they're currently trying to see if they can take out the last guy. Doesn't do the required damage. But Free Esports are just urging, they're just watching to see what the outcome of this fight is going to be between the boys right there for Extreme and No Gaming. But that's exactly what it's going to be. It does go the way of the boys right there for Extreme, as they do have one casualty in that particular fight up against the boys from No Gaming. But now they're coming on ground against the boys from Extreme, as Free Esports are pulling up just in time. They do have the numbers advantage coming up against the boys from Extreme. It is Sean who's currently leading the charge, and now he's fully aware that the boys from Free Esports want to take on this fight. They want to get into the mix right here. They do usually take on this aggression over and over again. I said the shots being let loose right there from Jagaban all the way towards that position where Choco is currently situated. If they can get a knock onto Choco, definitely that does reduce the numbers for Extreme. As Choco is currently alone, it will make it quite difficult to get that revive, and that does open up the fight entirely. So it is very important that they do get that knock on the boys right there from Extreme. But they can face the rest of the players from Extreme, Sean and his boys, who are currently all alone in that position, and they could basically just send them a full team or at least 3 players into that position and look to take them out. As you can see, Sean X trying as possible to hold his position against the players from Free Esports who are putting up onto this location right there. Shana is definitely going to go down on this one. It's now left to Choco to somehow keep their hopes alive in this game, as other teams are also now pulling into this vicinity. And the boys from Disparo is now beginning to feel the heat from the boys from Free Esports as they now continue to turn their sights onto them. And here's the thing. Free Esports looking to see if they can get those extra bits of elimination, as they currently just have 1 to their name. But they gotta be careful because there's also 21 Century just right there in front of them. Century right next to the boys from Disparage. Roy trying to hold things on for his team as he does get a couple of those eliminations, but the Disparate boys will be put to the ground as 1 casualty to the boys from 21, and Sixpen goes down again as well. But they got to be careful. They're fully aware of the position right there in front of them as the boys from First Access will be looking to see if they can get a couple of knocks, as Roy is the last one for his team. And Sixpen definitely is going to get thirsted right there. And Roy. That was just definitely one of those unfortunate events, as they did lose another member right there. So let's take a look at the map and see where all of these teams are currently positioned at. So moving all the way into that stage 5, we do see the boys from Active Gaming not too far away from Dream Team. But speaking of action, the boys from CLS are currently holding down a 2-man squad. But we'll go back to the map just quickly again and see how all of these teams are going to be making their rotations right now. All the way right here, the boys from Dream Team are now coming up in a fight against the boys from Active Gaming. Active Gaming are putting on the onslaught right there. As is the last member alive. He does take down one of the players, but Active Gaming are pulling up onto this one, and they will be sent backpacking into the lobby. With some Active Gaming winning that one quite well, as they do have 8 eliminations to their name. You can now see that all of these teams are trying as much as possible to hold their spot. Oh, it's a tough one for all of these teams. The boys from Free Esports definitely feeling the hurt as shots are being let loose onto their position. A couple of bodies getting dropped down, but the confirmation not coming through as the boys from O3 keep raining shots down onto this location where Jagaban and Ramsey are currently positioned at. We're down to 10 teams. We've seen so much action go down on the lobby. And you would think that we have like maybe 2 or 3 teams left, considering, should I say, all things considered. But now the boys from O3 have been activated, coming up against the boys from Free Esports. You can see them inching quite closer and closer. They've gotten 2 knocks right there. As O3 is now getting into the mix. That is ACU who's coming through, trying to get the knocks, but now he turns his sights onto the rest of the players right there from Free Esports, and they're currently left with just Rufai to somehow hold things down for them. Rufai is in a very sticky situation as he tries to get out of touch right there, but the boys from O3 also turned their sights onto Foul Play. Here's what it is, Foul Play, who's currently sitting down in last spot within second, but would you look at that coming in right there from ACU as he does get a knock, but Rufai is having none of that as he continues to pound onto the boys from O3. It is ACU who would definitely get sent back packing into the lobby by Rufai. Rufai doing the damage right there onto the boys from Ace as the main man ACU, who had 5 eliminations, has now gone back into the lobby. I mean, if you're gonna take anybody with you, definitely you should take home the main man on Rufai. Obviously, doing the lobby a favor, taking down someone who was on top form right there. But they did seal that one through. The man, Rufai, trying to make a way into the zone, but obviously will now be punished by Nexus. The zone now beginning to make a shift. So many teams getting closer and closer to each other. Active Gaming and First Actors getting into the action pretty much is a 2v2 situation at this moment. Church coming into the action right there. And Active Gaming, a very slim fight right there, gets sent back into the lobby. And somehow the boys from First Actix managed to hold on to their life in that position. Active Gaming finishing that one with 9 eliminations to themselves. We'll see what that means at the end of the day on the entire leaderboard. But MOB is still looking quite strong in this one as they do have themselves 5 eliminations to themselves as they're getting shut up by the boys from O3 who are looking to see if they can take out a couple of the players, and Nexus and his boys sending on the shots onto this particular location. O3 doing the work, but Magic with the return fire coming in from that mini. And there's violence at every single corner. All right, the shots are being let loose at every single corner. We're down to 3 teams. It is the boys from MOB coming up against the boys from O3 as well as the boys from First Actix. All right, here's where things now begin to let loose, and the boys from First Act is trying to find a way into that spot within the zone, and all of this team making their quick rotations right there. As you can see, Bud is being dropped as Young Mike goes down, and right now is left with just Dolly in this location to try to somehow keep the hopes alive for them. So you can see the boys from MOB putting in the work right there, trying to take out the boys from 03, but the Buddies instead do get dropped as 03 Nexus and his boys are being absolutely violent in this position. Nexus with a quick dive in that position to evade that one. Look at how quick that dive was, but with the third party coming through, it does send him down to the ground. And now the boys from MOB are left with just a one player. There's Lobby left to somehow hold things down for them. They might be able to just get that revive as the boys from 03 are currently occupied. They can take things down to a 2v2. All right, so we have a 2v2 situation coming up between First Actics, MOB, and the boys from 03. It is No Name and Riley's coming up against the Dolly and Yomite from First Actics. And then Lobby and Rage for MOB. With one of the players from First Actics now being sent back into the lobby. It's a 2v2v1 between these three teams right here. With 03 now beginning to make the push, but they got to be careful with the third party coming in for the boys from First Actics as well as the boys from MOB. Now they're beginning to edge quite closer, looking to make the move. Lobby turns his sights onto the last player right there from First Tactics. He's looking to make sure that he doesn't get into the mix with the boys from 03, holding pretty much what is a central position. I do believe the problem in this game might come from Dolly, as Dolly does get a knock onto the boys from 03, and that's exactly what we're talking about, just coming through with the problem right there. Now the boys from MOB are looking to make their move, but No Name. He does get the one. He turns his side. He does some damage. And boom, he gets a 1v2. And the boys from 03 seal that chicken dinner. All right. So 03 finally making through and coming clear right there with 12 eliminations. And do get the winner chicken dinner at the end of the day. Amazing stuff coming in from all of these teams. As you can see, there was so many butters being dropped by that top 7 teams right there. But we'll see how the games continue to progress as we do move on throughout the entire day. But some amazing gameplay coming down from all of these teams. We were talking about 03 coming back and being able to show us what they're capable of. We spoke about it before the game started, and they were able to, prove that why they are the champions of the NPL right in this particular game. But Nexus and his boys been absolutely outstanding. They fought for that. You could see that at every single corner. Even when Rufai from Free Esports was trying as much as possible to do them huge amount of damage into their player Ace, who had 5 eliminations quite early on, they still managed to grind it through, and No Name coming in with a clutch right there, 1v2, and I sealed that one for them. All right, so we'll take a quick break from our sponsors, and we'll be right back for some more action in a moment right here. We still got 2 games to go, so don't go nowhere. We'll take a look at the leaderboard when we're back before we get into the game 3. See you soon.
Got what it takes. The challenge will be tougher than ever. In 2023, international esports has a new home. Over 100 nations fighting for the championship in a celebration of everything that makes esports great. Who will rise up to the challenge? Who will be the world champion?
मिठाई like कुल्फी रसमलाई पिस्ता बर्फी सर्दियां विच गर्मी लगदी जद भी तू मेरे राह विचों चलदी लब विच मेरे कोलों लंघदी throw it back and bubble up in front of me everybody trying to figure out your recipe I'm just trying to get a piece baby I know that you wanna get crazy shorty take it slow then chitty hey baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it no I really need it oh baby let me see it I just wanna eat it I know the things that you like Yeah, hey, tell me how you feel. Looking like a movie star, doing it for reals. Looking like a snack, looking like a whole meal. Gucci and Chanel with your red bottom heels. Ice drip like Bonnie, burning out the meri rani. Shawty bad, she my divani Mastani. Light it up, I'm living every day like it's Diwali. Young Tesha, young Shah Rukh, I'm at every party. And you got what I want, it's Sony, yeah. पिट्ठी गला करके तू ना जा छड़ के रब तो मैं मंगा तेरा प्यार हानी है girl you know what I'ma say hey baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it no I really need it oh baby let me see it I just wanna eat it I know the things that you like baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it no I really need it oh baby let me see it I just wanna eat it baby let me see it Tesha.
All right, guys. So we'll now be getting into our third game of the night. We saw the boys from 03 seal that second game right there in Miramar. We'll be moving all the way towards Vikendi, where other teams will now be looking to see if they can grab that spot. But before we do that, let us first of all take a look. You can already hear them, just riling up for that next game right there. But let us take a look at the map as we now see the boys from Active Gaming have taken over their spots right there, all the way in that number one spot, as they do have themselves 61 points. And, things are beginning to get really, really tight all the way up on that leaderboard, with Team Extreme and Foul Play still eaching quite close towards those points right there. All right, so we'll be heading into that Vikendi game. Who's going to grab that winner chicken dinner? Vikendi is usually, really, really long. Let's take a look and see how the game unfolds. All right, who do you guys think is going to win this one? As we're currently on ground with the boys from 03, who are NPL champions, and they did win the previous game. As we now see that fly path moving, cutting across. We'll just take a look at the fly path in a moment. Cutting across from that northwestern region towards that southeastern region right there at around Hot Springs and Cantra. And we're beginning to see several different teams just find on their spot. Vikendi has a lot of buildings, so you usually don't expect to see teams landing quite close to each other. But you never really know, as it could happen at any given moment. With all of these teams now beginning to find their spots, is now left to figure out where the zone is pretty much making its move. Now turning on ground right here, we do see two teams. That is boys from Free Esports and the boys from Active Gaming, who are currently on within the same vicinity, and things are about to let loose right there, as the boys from Active will now be hanging, trying as much as possible to see if they can take on the fight against the boys from Free Esports. I'm curious to see who does get into that first action. We do see the Uzi and the DBS coming through for Rufai, and those are really, really powerful guns. But he does decide to drop the Uzi, man. I wouldn't drop the Uzi. I would hold on to the Uzi, especially if I'm going into a CQC fight. I'll always want to hold the Uzi, but he does have a DBS, so don't miss. I had a discussion yesterday about like, is the DBS really overpowered? Is it overpowered? I don't know. I really don't know. And should it become a drop weapon again? That was the thoughts. I think Iron Crowns are having that conversation late at night. Well, like, is it overpowered? Let me know, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think, after watching, the damage that the DBS has been doing in Scream so far, just having that one shot dropping the enemy down, is it really an overpowered gun? Should it be going back into the drop? Yeah, we'll see. I want to know what your thoughts are on that. All right, the shots are already beginning to fly through right there between the boys from Active Gaming and the boys from Free Esports. They're both sending on shots onto each other. We do see on the kill feed right there, 03 brothers are also getting into the mix as well. All right, the two of them now beginning to let loose. One of the players right there from Free Esports has been dropped down, as the boys from 03 are beginning on with their onslaught, and Nez is edging quite closer towards this position where Rufai is situated, and they want to get into that action right there. It's hopping up on this building. Ooh, but Hawkeye will get a knock onto one of the players from Active Gaming as TQ does go down. He's hanging on to the DBS. And Anez does pull up onto this location, but ooh, the DBS will definitely drop him down to the ground. And definitely pretty much the same thing we were talking about early on. You know, the DBS being that gun, I can do a whole lot of damage. Comes in, of course. I think close on closer towards the boys from Active Gaming. The DBS coming through. I personally, and this is my own opinion, yeah. I personally think that the DBS should go back into the drop. And now I'm not just saying this because of this game. Like I had that opinion before the fight even started. But I personally think that the DBS should be a drop only gun. I mean, it shouldn't just be like, because basically like it's pretty accurate. It drops you down, you know, and it's just like it drops you down, like one tap drops you down. So it's not really like, yeah, you need to hit your shots in skill wise, but sometimes if you're just standing in front of the door, like, you know, Rufire was here, and an enemy is pushing you, you know, there's no jiggling, there's nothing, like it spreads a lot, you know, boom, one shot, then you're down. Like it's not like it's not even like, oh, two shots. It's like just one shot and you're gone. You know, so for me it's like very low skill, you know, and in the hand of someone who is actually like really good at covering himself from not getting damaged. He can just be like you could be jiggling and it's like boom, one down, two down, and you know, easy to get the squad wipes with the DBS. So it's my opinion that it's definitely going to be nerfed pretty soon. It's either they nerf it so that you need like two shots to knock someone down, or they just put it back into the drop. It's gonna be one of them for me. Um, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. All right, so it's a 3v4 situation right here between the boys from Free Esports and the boys from Active Gaming. Hawkeye and the rest of his teammates are being cautious to, you know, make this move onto the boys from Activist. But they do have the numbers. They're quite aware of that as they're taking down one of the players from Active Gaming. There's a Ness who's been dropped down to the ground, and you can now see the push being coming through finally from the boys from Free Esports, but they've not been able to, you know, sort of like just be very bold about their move. But it is Ramsey who's now beginning to, you know, get a little bit more aggressive in this particular move. And the boys from Active Gaming fighting on back. Sticky on his boys. I'm trying to come back with an onslaught there, but the DBS still putting in the work as shot does go down. And the boys from Active Gaming will be sent back into the lobby as Free Esports do win that fight and send them packing. But regardless of this fight, you know, like I personally believe that, and I've seen enough damage in PMPL to believe that, you know, the DBS is basically like, it's my opinion. It's low skill. It's low skill, high damage. You know, like, you know, it's easier. It's for me. It's easier to aim than even the normal shotgun, and like, you know, pretty much low skill, and you know you've wiped out the enemy. All right, on ground. On the other end of things, you do have the boys from foul play down to the last member. And it now will be sent back into the lobby. So our number 1 and 2 on the leaderboard have now been wiped out quite early on. And if you do remember, it was, you can see Active Gaming and Foul Play leading that charge right there. So it does open up the opportunity for Extreme, CLS, and the boys from 03 to come on back and grab those extra beats of eliminations. We'll continue to see how that one does build up right there on the lobby. But taking a look at that zone, it is moving all the way towards that northern region, and a lot of it is situated within the water right there. We'll see how that one does favor a lot of these teams. Onto turn the sides now. Onto the boys from Vibe Gaming, who's currently on ground right here with the boys from Rage. They have lost one of the players. They do have another one of them also dropped down into the ground. So they only have 2 of the members left in this particular position. Then they're trying to see if they can get that revive onto the member with the boys from Rage putting up onto this location. Iceman turns his back onto the ups, and that definitely is not probably a wise thing to do. But Kenny is still within the vicinity to provide the support as he drops down one of the players from Rage. And now Kenny is making his move, as Deji is also around the vicinity to provide some support for his man Top G. Will he be getting a revive onto Iceman? It does look like that's what he decides. Deji will also be doing the same thing. And now Kenny has been activated, looking to push onto that position where Deji is at. It's quite aware that they haven't gotten the revive yet. The 2 players from Vibe Gaming are getting into the mix, and that will be the end for the boys from Rage. But now, speaking about fights, you do have the boys from MOB who currently have been looking around this position, looking to see if they can get into the action right there, as they will want to make sure that they get a little bit of taste, a little taste of the action themselves. Western 21st Century just pretty much just rotating around this position and not finding it easy as well. So someone says Jonathan says choke point. So someone says exactly why DBS should be removed. Low DBS is cheats. Learn how to play. And then says learn how to play, people. Jonathan says choke point plus DBS win every engagement. I'm tired of synchronous men. Jonathan, it's very annoying. Even one person using it. It's a 3v4. These guys are still holding or making it scarce. PMPLC DBS has been nerfed. In PMPLC has been nerfed. In PLC and DBS has been nerfed. Even the S12K. Yeah. I feel so too. Like when I see the. Personally, if I had an advanced room card, if I was in charge of creating rooms and I had an advanced room card, now I'm not saying this because I'm active, okay? I had this even before they made that push. I had this discussion. Like every time I see someone with a DBS, low skill, you don't even have to be like as long as one shot, you miss one shot, the next shot drops on the body, boom, they're down. Like low skill, like that just doesn't feel right to me. Someone's wearing a vest, you get me, you know. But now let's turn our sights onto the boys from 21. We'll continue on with that conversation in a moment's time as Ferro does do his work right there, and he gets a knock onto one of the players from Knock and Lobby as Bala Blue and his boys will definitely be feeling the hurt. Another one of the players right there from Knock and Lobby does get dropped down into the ground, and the rest of the players are also now beginning to pull up onto this vicinity right there. We're seeing action going down at every single corner. But also on the other end of things, we have the boys from Vibe Gaming now going on and a fight against the boys from Free Esports. And it's a very tough one. They continue. Here goes the DBS again. Here comes the DBS again. But But the third party shots lighting up this location as Kenny will be fried. He will be fried. He will be cooked. He will be cooked right here. Yeah, Ramsey pretty much cooking, but you're definitely not going to leave out anything to the boys from Free Esports as they are, doing quite well for themselves. Wait, what? Iceman just needed himself. What? That's so funny. It's not just that he did it himself, it was the way he did it himself. Someone should clip that, please. Someone should clip that. Oh, don't finish me, I beg, please. Please. Oh my god. Oh my god. People should have mercy on me, I beg, please. My god. Oh god. So someone said, "Yeah, the DBS." I'm glad that you guys share my point of view because I feel like it's a very like whenever people talk about nerfing guns, I'm not usually in favor of it, but I feel like it's very unrealistic if someone's wearing like a level 2 vest and boom down, he goes down like he's knocked down instantly, right? Like that doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, you could say maybe real life that's possible, but this is not real life. This is a game. I mean, maybe two shots from the DBS, like one does a lot of damage, maybe takes you down to like 10% HP, and maybe the next one then actually gets the confirmation. You get me? But to say it burns through your entire vest, level 2, and then knocks you to the ground, that feels very, I don't know. That feels like something that needs to be nerfed. Between that and the S12K, the two of them need to be nerfed, like it has been in the PEL. Okay, like it has been in the PEL. It should be nerfed. It should be nerfed here as well. And that's my opinion. I feel like if I had advanced room cards and I was able to remove the DBS itself, I don't know if you can actually do that, but if I had that option to remove it, I definitely will be doing that. Um, I'll be taking it um out of the game. But we might be seeing some action going down between the boys from Dream Team and the Spirits. You're seeing them just itch closer and closer into that location right there with the boys from Despires are currently situated at. We might see some action going down between these two teams right here. Now itching closer and closer towards each other. Looking to get into the action. Also in the third party, we also had the boys from MOB who are currently in that region. You know, I personally like across every single game. I've never believed in nerfing any gun. Never ever. One time, even when people were like, "Oh, M4 is too stable and needs to be nerfed," I was like, "Nah, I don't care. Like, I don't think that's gonna change anything." Because you still need, even when M4 was overpowered, you still needed like to have skill to use it. You know. But now the boys from Disparage are pretty much just getting knocked down left, right, center. The boys from Dream Team are doing in the damage from the distance. Will they be able to get that revive just in time before they pull up onto this vicinity? I'm curious to see, what happens right here as Acho and his boys are, just pretty much just running towards this spot right here, looking to see if they can do the damage. But here's the problem: there's also a third party coming through, and it makes it pretty difficult for them to make that full send onto this location. So yeah, taking it back to the drop is in a way nerfing it. If it's taken back into the drop, that's a nerf because that means not everybody gets to have it. It's like something you have to fight for. It's like some special theme. You get what I'm saying? So that's one way to nerf it. Another way to nerf it is if it's actually nerfed. I feel like back in the day, DBS wasn't a problem because it was in the drop, and lot of people thought it was worth the risk to try to go to the drop just to get the DBS. You get what I'm saying? But now because it's everywhere, it's so rampant. You can pick it up on the floor every single place you go to. It now becomes a thing where anybody can just pick it up, and people are mostly carrying it like left, right, center. So yeah, it's something that should be definitely looked into. All right, Disparage looking to now edge closer and closer into that zone. Shin and his boys. Trying to get in on the action with the boys from MOB. Being quite aware of this location right there that the boys from MOB currently have. He's got to get his heel on. There's also Rage who's also in the mix of things. They're trying to pull up into his location. He's bumping on those smokes to conceal his location for now. Can that nade do the required damage? Oh, MLB just still lurking around that high ground. The nade flying through again from Shin to see if he can get the knock, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. Two of his players are currently been knocked down. With the zone now beginning to flow through, they've got to either hop into the vehicle or somehow hold on to their life in this game. But the boys from the Dream Team, who are in a mix early on with the boys from Disparage, now come into this vicinity and do get a knock and a confirmation onto one of the players right there. It is Chaos who does get dropped down. Shin is still hanging on for their life in this position. But seriously, to be very, very, very sincere, like yeah, that's the like I've heard like I've watched like PMPL lately, so many competitions, and I've just been like, yo, would you look at this? Look at this. The boys from Dream Team trying to make their way onto that zone, but getting caught up by the boys from MOB as they do lose a couple of players, and now it's just left with Chris, who's trying to make his rotations right around the boys from OG, and he will get thirsted and sent back into the lobby. Now we still got about 7 teams right here who are trying to make the rotations into that zone. So many different teams have been sent backpacking into the lobby. You can see all of these guys are trying to make sure that they can hold their own for now. And here comes the boys from O3 up against Extreme. Landing within this vicinity. And Choco gets dropped down into the ground. The action is beginning to let loose by the boys right there from O3. Nexus and his boys doing the work. Sean trying to see if we can get that revive. O3 trying to get that confirmation. But that nade right there from Nexus will do the necessary required damage. Sean trying to see if he can get that revive again. But Nexus going in for the juggler of this team's right here. Now he has them in the line of sight as he does drop down. Choco this time around proceeds to get the elimination and gets that confirmation right there. And they will be sending the boys right there from OG back into the lobby. Sending the boys from Extreme back into the lobby. Not OG. Alright, so here we have it. That is the boys from OG against CLS. Danny Brown gets dropped down to the ground by Cole. And would you look at that? Our CQC merchant gets bested in the CQC fight. How rare do you see that? But we saw Cole be outstanding in a 1v2 yesterday. So maybe he is the one who takes on that mantle of CQC merchant now. Stoner gets dropped down again as the boys from OG continue on with their onslaught as they do have 9 eliminations to their name so far. With Pedro sitting down with 5 of those. And now they do have 10 as they do get another elimination to their name. They got to find a way into that zone as we're currently sitting down on ground with 4 teams. Exits on his boys now turning their sights into the boys from First Actics and sending on shots their way. Trying to see if he can get a knock or two. They currently have 5 eliminations to the name. They won the previous game right there. And now looking on to this game, they might be able to take on that number 1 spot. Remember, coming into today's game, they were sitting down in the second place. But now they are moving all the way up as they are continuing on with their onslaught right here. Looking to see if they can take this game home as they currently are putting on the numbers, or they do have the numbers to seal this game through. Riley's has done a little bit of damage, but it's not enough to drop him down to the ground as they do turn the sights onto Violence. They deal a lot of damage onto him as he's down to pretty much what is 1 HP, but it's not enough to get the knock onto him. I see he does still hold on to this position. Now the boys from 0-3 with that shift have got to make their way into that zone. It's a zone that's currently being occupied by the boys from First Actics. And while the boys from 0-3 look to make their way in, there's also the boys from OG who are also within the vicinity that might be sending shots their way. So it's a pretty tricky one for them to make the rotations into, as any attempt to pull up into that region might lead to third-party shots coming in from the boys right there from OG. We'll see what Nexus wants to do as they might be looking to turn. All right, so the boys from 0-3 are edging quite closer and closer to us, getting into that zone that's currently being occupied by the boys from First Actics, as they have lost now one of the players. It is Ace, who has been sent back into the lobby. He's the one who does have 2 eliminations to his name. 10 bodies right here in this one, and another player right there from the boys from 0-3 gets strumped down into the ground, but they might be able to get that revive just in time. But with the zone pulling up right here, it might cost them a whole lot. But now here's Nexus pulling up into this building as he is coming up against the boys from First Actors. He's going direct into their vicinity, looking to see if he can get something out of this one, but it might prove to be really costly for him. But here he goes, as he does see one of the players from First Actors gets dropped, and he does steal that confirmation right there, and they are continuing on with the push onto the boys from First Actors, and it's not looking quite easy for the boys right there who were holding that center just a moment ago, as they've lost one of their men. As the boys from O3 come into this one, they do have 3 members to the name as well, and it is pretty much equal at every single corner. But here he goes with O3 making the push onto that location within the buildings, and they might just be able to seal this one through. If they can take this position, they might have sealed this winner chicken dinner coming up in this game right here. And the Nate does do his damages. Your Mike gets dropped down to the ground, and Nexus continues on with his onslaught. He's popping up them Nates again, looking to see if he can get that confirmation onto another player right there for the boys of First Actors, but the damage being done to him from the third party does put him down to the ground. Can the revive come in just in time? But now here comes the boys from First Actors. No Name is trying to keep them at bay as long as he can for that revive to happen, and it does look like his plan does work out. Okay, it goes. He does blow that up. And the boys from First Actors have now been sent into pretty much what is a 2-man squad for now. And here comes the boys from O3 going in for their juggler, but No Name gets dropped down. Violence on the opposite end, not joining in on the fight. I guess when it begins to get super interesting. The boys from OG getting into the mix right there. They take down 1, they take down 2 of the players right there from O3. OG looking to see if they can seal this winner chicken dinner. Nexus is the last one for his team there. The O3 is trying to see if he can get that revive. Violence gets sent back into the lobby, and right now it is between the boys from OG and the boys from O3 Brothers, with Nexus the last one hopeful for his team, but he would get sent back into the lobby, and it would be a winner chicken dinner going down to the boys from OG, as Pedri is the one with the most of eliminations right there. So lovely stuff going down right here within the lobby, as we do see a whole bunch of eliminations in this particular game. Alright guys, we'll be taking a quick break and we'll be right back for some more action in our final game of the night. So don't go nowhere. It has been an amazing day. Let's see who does grab home the last winner chicken dinner. I do believe it is going to be an Erangel game. Erangel or Sandhawk, I'm not too sure, but we'll see in a moment's time. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back for some more action. See you soon.
Do you think you've got what it takes? The challenge will be tougher than ever. In 2023, International Esports has a new home. Over 100 nations fighting for the championship in a celebration of everything that makes esports great. Who will rise up to the challenge? Who will be the world champion?
Hello guys, my name is ISTG Oluashom. My in-game name is 03Nexus018. I'm the current leader at the IGL of O3 Brothers. Yeah, we finished first place in the last season of MPL. And then our experience in the tournament was very, very good because it was a nice competition. So we could learn new things, we could learn how to rotate and new strats. And then it paid off well. And we hope you guys can get us a better stream and then increase the price pool. That was all. Thank you very much. Thank you Carbon, thank you 1080, thank you MPL. God bless.
Alright, the boys from Extreme who are just rotating around this region. Getting themselves into the zone right there. Alright. Do remember to hit that like and hit that subscribe, guys. Let's get ready for what is going to be another amazing game and see where, all of these teams are currently situated around. Let's take a look at the map and see where several different teams are positioned. You can see that zone moving all the way towards that southern region, and the boys from OG are currently around that position around the prison, mansion, and the likes. Also, yes, now you do have the boys from CLS and the boys from Rage Esports, and all the way in Savannah. We have two teams right there, the boys from Free Esports as well as the boys from PlayStation. We'll see how builds up with the two of the teams are going to be getting into the action right there. As the boys from Free Esports are known never to shy away from fights like this. They do have Abubakar and Hawkeye who are really close to that position where PlayStation is currently situated, and it does look like something might be happening between these two set of players right here, and PlayStation from Foul Play. Always finding it difficult to keep on saying that. PlayStation. But Play Solo and PlayStation, these two set of players are putting up onto that location where the boys right there from Free Esports are currently situated, and it does look like something might begin to let loose as the shots already begin to fly right there, as Abubakar is the one who will be sending on the shots onto this position, and the boys from Foul Play are deciding to begin to attack a set of the players right here for the boys from Free Esports, and you can see them beginning to edge closer and closer and closer to them. They better be holding the DBS, because this onslaught that's coming is absolutely terrifying, and you can see PlayStation just coming out of his building. Look and see if he can make that move, he can make that attack. I'm not sure exactly what the plan of the line of defense for the boys from Free Esports is, but it does look like they are edging they're edging towards an angle where the rest of the players, Jagaban and the rest, can provide them with some support right there. Hawkeye and Abubakar are right next to PlayStation in the buildings right there, and I'm curious to see, how this one does actually work out for them. Maybe they might, just hop into those smokes and retreat away from this position right down to, where their teammates are. We can see the smokes being let loose into the road, and I'm not too sure if that does provide them enough cover, because you do see the PlayStation 5 might be able to take down a player who decides to cross through that particular location. Alright, okay, the boys from Foul Play now beginning to make the move. It is the boy right there, PlayStation 5, who is edging closer and closer onto this location where the boys from Free Esports are. Abubakar and his teammate currently, just playing things pretty defensive for now, trying to hold on as much as they can. Pretty much just at the edge of the wall. They're just trying to hang on for their life up until the rest of the teammates can come in and provide them with the support as required. And now the action is beginning to let loose. Play Solo does go down to Hawkeye, and he does get thirsted and lobbied. And now Foul Play, who was on the front foot of things, do look like they have lost one of the players, and it pretty much is a 3v3 situation coming down between the two of them, as it has been mutually assured destruction on both ends. Abubakar within the sides of the buildings currently holding things down, as he has two players in front of him. Jagaban, another player that does go down right here, and now Abubakar has got to step things up as the two of the players are currently pulling up onto his location. does try to evade the shots, but a lot of damage has been done. This is where you need the DBS. This is where you need the DBS. Boys from power play have lost 2 of the players as well. They pretty much were in fights at opposite ends. And Lone Wolf and Solo did lose their own fight. And now it's the 2 players from each side that are now coming to, you know, pretty much just get in on that final last round of battle. And it is Jagaban and Ramsey going up against Shamut and PlayStation 5 in this location. And now you now see them making that push onto that position where Jagaban is going to situated at, and PlayStation has got himself one of the eliminations as well as Lone Wolf. And knowing Free Esports, they will just be taking things, you know, quite easy. Probably one of them has a DBS. And don't take this as a shade, but, you know, I personally think DBS is low skill. That's my opinion. I feel like it's low skill, you know. And I'm going to keep talking about it till hopefully they remove it. But they've removed it in the PAL for a reason. And it should obviously be removed from competitive. That's my belief. It should either go back into the drop as it was before, and it was a drop weapon for a reason. Or it should be something that's very scarce. Very, very scarce. Alright, the boys from foul play now trying to go into the juggler of the boys from Free Esports, as Ramsey's HP has pretty much been reduced down, but he's been able to get that heal on and trying to be aggressive in this one and make their push. As Jagaban and his boys will be looking to see if they can hold things down, but Free Esports, you know, putting in the work right here. They somehow, you know, not being pushovers. They continue on with the battle to try and see if they can hold their own in this spot as they are edging quite closer and closer to the boys from PlayStation. But now the boys from Free Esports have been dancing around. Ramsey runs away again. They're pretty much just playing hide and seek at this particular moment, as the boys from Free Esports are not going into on the attack, as PlayStation is pretty much just maybe frustrated in this moment, because it does feel like, you know, they've just been baited around, you know. Now they're getting in on the attack. They've been playing this dance around, trying to see if they can get a knock, as Ramsey has been going left and right, but now Schmutz is also trying to see if he can get in on the attack as well. Let's take a look at it from Ramsey's side, as he does get a knock onto one of the players right there from foul play. But down goes Jagaban. Oh, Ramsey with that extra bit of elimination right there for the boys from Free Esports, as they will get sent back into the lobby. It will be PlayStation, the boys from Foul Play getting sent back into the lobby. PlayStation did do his very best right there to try and get the eliminations, but so far, so good. The boys from Free Esports did enough to hold their own in that spot. Alright, do see several different teams just edging quite closer to each other. The boys from CLS and Vibe Gaming are also about to pretty much just encounter each other right here up on this hill, as it will be Roach. Alright, here we go. The shots now beginning to fly as a couple of players for the boys from Vibe Gaming do get dropped down. Falcon is still in this one. Okay. Vibe Gaming getting another knock. Danny Brown pulling up onto this position. Shots are being let loose. But Danny Brown will get that confirmation, as they do have just one casualty. O3 Shark says all these DBS people. Someone said, especially run away, Ramsey. Oh my god, the chat is absolutely blowing up. But seriously though, look, I'm not even gonna hide my mouth. Like, nah. When someone needs to start a petition, man, for DBS to get out. It just doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel fun. Like, like what could you, like for me, yeah. If there's a gun I cannot counter, if I cannot counter a gun, then obviously it needs to be nerfed. You get, like, if someone shoots me a shotgun one time, it takes out half of my health, but I can jiggle away and maybe he misses the next one and still knock him down, then that's okay. Or I can shoot me one, I can run away, use the wall, somehow spray him with an Uzi or something like that. That's still okay. But one shot you are knocked to the ground, my goodness, that's like, nah, that's nah. That's enough for me. That is my opinion. That is my humble opinion. Alright, but on ground here, you do have the boys from O3 coming up against the boys from MOB. And here we go. Here we go. One gets dropped down to the ground, and Magic is putting in the work right here. And O3 not having quite the best of times, as they do have a couple of their players who are knocked to the ground. And MOB do have one casualty as well. So O3 do lose 2 of the members. Rest of the players for O3 are currently not within this vicinity. It is No Name and Ace who are the rest who are currently alive. I'm curious to see if they're going to push up onto that location. Ace continuing to send on the shots into that smoke right there, looking to see if he can just get one casualty and push onto that location. We'll see how that one continues to play out for this teams. But the boys from MOB are currently sitting down on ground with 6 eliminations to their name. And they're continuing on with a wonderful performance. They've been doing quite well. You know what, yeah? Guys, 11 has not been playing, but MOB has been wild. So a lot of the talk of like 11 made the team better. Could it be that MOB is just like way better now? Like it's not an 11 team. While 11 is a fantastic player, but that the whole team is just better. I've just probably noticed. I don't know. I don't really know who the players are because a lot of people are changing their name and stuff like that. But Creed is doing quite well in this game. He's got 5 eliminations to his name. All right, everyone now beginning their rotations. The boys from First Act is coming on quite close to several different teams. There's the boys from CLS. Oh, Danny Brown does get taken down right there. As the boys from CLS do lose another player. Active Gaming have one of the players who's currently been sent back into the lobby. Looks from Active Gaming taking on shots into several different teams around this region as the boys from Rage are looking to get in on the action right there. DJ and his boys are currently within this vicinity. Shot will get dropped to the ground, and it does look like he definitely now will get thirsted. Boys from Active Gaming will be looking to get out of that position against the boys from Rage. This is where things are now beginning to get like super interesting, as we will take a look at that zone in just a bit. So we do see several different teams just edging towards that central spot within that zone, as the boys from Active have made the rotation away from the boys from Rage Esports, so you can see them just finding a spot to call their own. Everyone is looking to see if they can make their move as much as they can, but we're still sitting down with 11 teams right here within the lobby. There's so much fights going on at every single corner. There seems to be a fight right there coming through between the boys from Extreme and the boys from Active Gaming about to happen. Boys from Active Gaming pretty much will get caught up in a... Oh, but Anez will get taken down, as things are not looking quite great for the boys from Active Gaming, as the boys from Extreme are now pulling up onto this location. Skinny just trying as much as possible to get out of that position, stay alive. And the last player right there for Active Gaming will get sent back into the lobby, as the boys from Extreme will make quick work of that one. Taking a look at the map and seeing where several different teams are currently rotating across. We do see the boys from OG trying to head into that zone. All right, we're sitting down with 11 teams right here within the game, and absolutely amazing stuff so far. We've seen so much action go down on this last map of the day. Who do you guys think is going to be winning this one? Remember to hit that like and hit that subscribe, as we're entering into that stage 5 of the zone, or stage 4 of the zone. Let's take a look at the current situation with the map and see how all of these teams are now beginning to make the rotations in. We do see within that center is the boys from Knock on Lobby, who are holding it quite well. There's also Extreme, who's also looking to see if they can get in on the action right there. So we'll just go on ground and see what's about to go down, as one of the players right there for the players from Knock on Lobby does get put to the ground, and Balaboo and his boys are left to battle it hard right here, as things are not looking quite great. I do believe that's an S12K coming through. That's another player right there from the boys from Knock on Lobby gets dropped to the ground, and the boys from Extreme looking to seize this position. But the third party is coming through, as well as Lagba, getting those eliminations will definitely keep the boys right there for Extreme at bay. And the boy right there, we might just be able to get his teammate back up. And it does look like that's exactly what's going to happen. She does carry him all the way into the building, looking to see if he can get that revive. Now the last player for Extreme is also going to be pulling up onto this location. It does look like something might be going down right here. And it is Sean, who is outside, who is now pulled up onto this location. I'm not sure why they didn't go for that revive, but it is what it is. 2 players for Extreme are now left in this position, and several different teams are now looking to see if they can pull up onto this particular one. But is it 2 players for Extreme? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yo, Mites is the last one for the boys from First Actics, and is trying as much as possible to see if he can stay up alive in this particular position, as he doesn't have the heal advantage. But the boys from 20, he might be able to evade the boys from 21 for as long as he can. That position made this work out well for him. But Baby is not holding back, as he wants that kill. He wants that knock in the 21st century. Have not had quite the best of competition so far within the NPO Super Weekend. We're looking to see if this might be the game that they turn things around and get that winner chicken dinner again. We'll see how this one plays out for them. All right, teams, you just heard it. We gotta move fast or my iPad's gonna die. Alright, so Baby spotting the last player right there from First Actics and sends him back into the lobby. All 3 brothers find themselves in a sticky situation as well, but they've been able to get that revive. Ace and No Name somehow holding on to their life right here and keeping their hopes alive within this game, as we're seeing so much skirmishes going down at every single corner. Still in that central region. Do have a whole bunch of teams. And it is Free Esports Rumsey who has somehow managed to stay alive in this game, getting pounded by the boys from 03. See that nade flying into that position once again. Almost looking to see if he can get the knock, but definitely will not happen. That's the confirmation that's going to come through by Ace. And the boys from 03 have got to make the rotations all the way into that zone. Reggie Spots now hopping into that vehicle, looking to see if they can find the spots within this tiny zone. Now the boys from Extreme finally deciding to make their move in this position. But they do have one of the players who does get taken down, as the boys from Knock on Lobby are knocking yet to lobby. And now they lobby. And Lagba putting in the work right there. What an interesting name it is. Lagba. That's definitely making it work. The boys from 21 continue on with their onslaught right here onto the boys from MOB, as they are looking to get those confirmations. They have dropped a couple of their players, but they've not managed to take them out of this one right here. They're looking to see if they can get another elimination to put in the work, put in their foot onto the boys from MOB right in this position. And Creed is still somehow keeping them at bay, fighting it hard in this position to stay alive, but it's not looking too great for them. as the boys from MOB are now down to just the one player. It's just Rage who's currently alive in this particular position, trying to see if he can get the revive onto Magic. If he does get that revive, he might just be able to fight against the boys from 21 who are lurking around this position and looking to take them out of the game. So yeah, it works out as the shots are being let loose at every single corner. We're down to 6 teams right here within the lobby. And boom, down goes Roy. Alright, the shots being let loose at every single corner. MOB feeling the heat as Ray does go down again. OJ on the other end feeling the heat. Magic trying to battle it out to keep them hopes alive in this game, but the play zone will definitely be doing his work as they do get sent back packing into the lobby. Actually, no name getting a knock right there. I see no name trying to throw in a molly onto that position with the boys from OJ currently situated. 0-3 holding on to their life right here. Trying to find a way into that zone. Not gonna be Ragey Sports. All within good spots within the zone. OG has got pretty much what is an angle of that zone as well, but I do believe that 0-3 does need to move a little bit into that spot right there as the zone is going to be inching closer and closer towards them. But Jagaban has him in his line of sight, and now the boys from 0-3 might be in a very sticky situation as Ace does get dropped down into the ground. Definitely the smokes would matter so much in this particular position as the boys from 21 are in a third-party position. We'll see how this one does work out as the smokes might not be available for no name. And the confirmation definitely going to come through right there for the boys from 0-3 as no name does lose his teammate Ace. Well, now he turns the sights onto the boys from 21 as he does see Baby getting dropped to the ground and now firing all around that vicinity, looking to see if he can steal this particular one, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen as we're down to 4 teams. It is the boys from Rage Esports who do steal that one from Person 0-3. Now he does decide to make his move into that zone, but it will be OG and the boys from Knock and Lobby who are spraying towards his distance. Also, Knock and Lobby found himself in quite a favorable position and then now turning the sights onto the boys from Rage who are currently situated with just 2 players in their team, and Lagwa and his teammate have made huge advantage of this position that they found themselves in the zone and are using it to the best of their abilities to take on several different teams who are not just rotating but they're very, very, very aggressive neighbors. OG right now they're in a 2v3 situation coming up against the boys from OJ. They've gotten themselves a whole bunch of eliminations right there as they're currently sitting down with 6 eliminations. Can they somehow win this one and seal this game through? You do see the boys from OJ trying to pull up onto this location with Cole, who is the CQC merchant, now making the move to pull up into that position within the building. I do believe the way they play, they will want to sending them nades onto that position within the building, and it does look like that's exactly what OJ is going to be doing as the nade does get into that position where Bala Blue is at, and it does do the necessary required damage to seal this game through, and that will be the end of the game as Cole does get 2 eliminations right there with the nade. Absolutely amazing stuff coming through from Cole as he is our MVP of the game with 6 eliminations to his name, regardless of the fact it is the boys from OG. Old Guards getting 10 eliminations in this last game. They got themselves those 20 extra points to continue to boost their way all the way up on the leaderboard. And with that, we will call the games of the night done. It is over for this super weekend on week one. Absolutely amazing, amazing stuff coming through from all of these teams. It was absolutely amazing gameplay coming, except the DBS, of course, except for the DBS part. All right, guys. Thanks for everybody who's watched. It has been an amazing day. We'll be taking our leave right now, but regardless of that, I'm gonna put the leaderboard up once I do have that right here. I will check. But in the meantime, I'll show you guys some adverts, and then we'll close. But once the leaderboard is out, I'll put it right here live. Okay. All right. From me, it's adios, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you then.
Hello guys, my name is ISTG Oluashom. My in-game name is 03Nexus018. I'm the current leader at the IGL of O3 Brothers. Yeah, we finished first place in the last season of MPL. And then our experience in the tournament was very, very good because it was a nice competition. So we could like learn new things, we could learn how to like rotate and new strats. And then it paid off well. And we hope you guys can get us a better stream and then increase the price for it. That's all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Carbon. Thank you, 1080. Thank you, MPO. God bless.
Do you think you've got what it takes? The challenge will be tougher than ever. In 2023, International Esports has a new home. Over 100 nations fighting for the championship in a celebration of everything that makes esports great. Who will rise up to the challenge? Who will be the world champion?
Okay, so I'm still waiting for the leaderboard somehow. I don't know. I don't know. It's not yet out. But okay, we have it. Gang gang. Who is on top? There we go. We have the boys from Old Gods currently on top of the leaderboard right there, as they did finish this one with 3 winner chicken dinners. Well deserved, with O3 Brothers coming out in second place and the boys from Active in third place. So well deserved from all of these teams right there, as you can see. Yeah, at least we did get to show you guys the leaderboard before we left for tonight. So from me and the rest of the staff from 10 and 80 and NPL, we will say good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody who supported today's games. It's adios and bye-bye for now. See you guys in the next one.
You got what I want is Sony, मिठी गल्लां करके तू ना जा छड़ के Ay, I think about it every day. Baby looking like Khana Khazana on a plate. Ay, like mithai, like kulfi, rasmalai. Pista barfi, sardiyan vich garmi lagdi. Jad vi tu mere raah vichon chaldi. Yeah, lab vich mere kolo langdi. Throw it back and bubble up in front of me. Everybody tryna figure out your recipe. I'm just tryna get a piece. Baby, I know that you wanna get crazy. Shorty, take it slow, then chitty. Hey, baby, let me see it. I just wanna eat it. Baby, let me see it. No, I really need it. Oh, baby, let me see it. I just wanna eat it. I know the things that you like.